again, not just the techniques, but kind of the sensitivity to when to apply technique, when to be decisive, when to patiently wait. These are skills that are again, hard to do by the count, but essential to being a really great martial artist. Any other questions? Anything you took away from tonight? Good, bad, indifferent? Sir?
This guy, that last thing he said about not panicking, trying to force something that's not there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a hard line, right? And as a teacher, I can tell you it's a very difficult line to try to articulate, because you don't want to have the impression as a martial artist that you can just kind of kick back and like, take your time. Fighting is urgent. It's an urgent matter. At the same time, sometimes you have to, the moment isn't there yet, right? Like a couple classes ago, we did headlock on the ground, right? And we did a couple different of escapes, right? We did this one, for example, right? But let's say his head is in close, right? And we're moving. At some point, he goes to hit me, right? Maybe that's the moment. I'm waiting for my moment. I'm patient here. In the meantime, I'm trying not to get hit. Maybe I try to hook. He makes this difficult for me. I don't have the space. But at some point, he opens up some space. So what happened now? I patiently waited and just survived. But when the opening was there, you decisively moved to the technique that'll work for you. But you're not just kind of hanging out. You can't take your time. Right? Make sense? Sometimes in a tough situation, the best thing you can do for the moment is survive until you can make a more decisive move, right? When we did a few years back, when we did our active shooter seminar, right? And we're not the only one that uses this strategy, although we get hands-on in a different way, which is a run, hide, fight. Right? And one of the notes that we made, and I think we have that presentation on our dojo YouTube page, during the hide, was that it's an active hide. It's not just like hang out there. If I see an opening, I can hear the fire getting further and further and further away. Maybe now's the time to get out there. So you're waiting for that moment, but you're not passive. Right? At the same time, I don't want to do something too panicky where I'm okay right now. I'm not comfortable, but I'm okay. I'm scared, but I'm for the time being, I'm in a hub. I'm safe behind a stall in a bathroom, whatever. I'm okay. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm okay. But I might do something panicky and try to leave this restroom now and get shot by this active shooter. So maybe I have to wait for my moment, and then when the moment's there, act decisively, understanding that there's no guarantees in self-defense, whether it's an active shooter or a one-on-one headlock on the ground, but you're maximizing your chances for success. Yes, sir.
Maintaining control of your space.
Yes, very important. The more space you allow, right? Space, and I'm not talking physics, I guess I'm talking space and time, in a sense, it's one thing, right? The further they are in space, the more time I have to deal with it. If I let someone encroach upon me this close, right? By conceding so much space, how long does it take for them to hit me with it and shank me in the kidney? They're so close. I could be a great martial artist, but I've conceded so much territory at that point that I don't even give I didn't allow myself the opportunity to be able to even access my skills.
Kind of added on it is the importance of making yourself big, especially as a smaller person.
Right. Yep. And even there, right, it's not so much an aggressive posture, but it is a very assertive posture. This is my domain. You're good over there. I'm not going to come chase you over there. But if you step onto my proverbial psychological lawn, we're going to have a problem. Not my front door. Not you're opening the front door of my house and taking a step in. My lawn. This is all mine. This space is all mine. And you have to own that space.
Sometimes Randori we fall into a fallacy. Sometimes think that Randori is its own separate thing. But when you practice Randori with self-defense sort of aspect of mind, the upright posture, hips underneath you, tall spine, when when you have the threat of those slaps, I was surprised at how few adjustments I had to make. I mean, I didn't really have to bring my hips underneath me or really straighten up or really check my knees without my eyes. I mean, pretty much from where I was, I was able to handle it.
Great, and that's true. But if I develop a very defensive Randori style, and my butt is back, and my arms are stiff like iron rods, I actually can make it very difficult for my partner to throw me. But as soon as knees or slaps are allowed, right? So I'm here, and I'm very defensive guy. Right now he starts slapping me or kneeing me in the, oh God, now my posture immediately straightens up, and I want to occupy the middle. I don't want to get kneed in the face. All of a sudden, the introduction of the random slap or knee to the face corrects your Randori posture, right? But if you don't ever, and we don't do it often, but occasionally you must do stuff like that to reinforce, like, that straight up posture it's for a self-defense purpose. If we were in a context where we know strikes are never going to be involved and we just want to grapple, maybe being a little hunched over might not be a bad idea. But in self-defense, you need that straight up posture. So your Randori, to your point, has to reinforce that greater purpose. The purpose is not to get good at Randori for the sake of getting good at Randori. You want to get good at Randori for the sake of self-defense. Okay, good. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Active pressure without sacrificing your balance.
I love it. Active pressure without sacrificing your balance. That in itself is a balance that you have to find, right? Like being active, but not so active that I'm not so passive. Actively